Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thank you so much for stopping by. I have a tier list. I haven't done a tier list in a little bit, but it's here. We're back, and it's Harry Potter. We've been getting ready because we finally are fulfilling our promise to the kids to take them to Harry Potter World, or at least to Universal Studios. We cannot wait, and we've been watching all of the movies, so we're going to get to that too. But I wanted to do a tier list of the books. Here's my favorite in the series. Here's my least favorite. I had a lot of fun with this. It's just meant to be fun and silly, so what do you think? Here you go.
Well, first off, I found this on Tier Maker. This is what I keep using. It does a good enough job, and it lets you at least change the whole list, as you can see over here, of what your tiers are. I have renamed them in somewhat Quidditch related terms / just Harry Potter in general. I'm not really going to have a need for the bottom two, but you always got to start these tier lists with an explanation of what you're even talking about. So S tier, Golden Snitch. We're talking the best books, my absolute favorite in the whole series, because it is all related. It's all relative to itself, right? We're not talking the best books of all time, which I think these are pretty well up there, but just as they relate to themselves, and that's what a tier list is. So sorry for explaining that one. Then we've got a Quaffle. It's a good ball. It gets you some points, but it's not going to win the game for you unless you score a ton. But the Golden Snitch can really win the whole game for you. So that's why Quaffle's A, Golden Snitch S tier. And Quaffle's going to be really good, hugely favorite, but maybe just not quite that S tier level. Bludger is kind of the lowest in my estimation of the balls. It's always trying to kill Harry Potter, at least in one of the books. And then there's Lint Ball, if I even got to it, which is C tier. And then Hairball, because there's cats at Hogwarts, so Crookshanks at least, that's F tier. So anyway, why don't we jump right into it? All right, first things first, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is it. Usually I really love an opening book into a world because it's the one that brings all that magical feeling that you start to fall in love with. It's all the newness. And I really love a good initial book. For me, though, which is crazy, you're going to be absolutely mortified. I actually started with book 5. I had watched the first 4 movies, read book 5, and was like, oh, this is a thing. This is a good thing. And then I went back and reread everything else, and then the last 2 after that. So I went a little weirdly out of order, so that will probably affect things, as you'll find out when we get there to number 5. But number 1, I felt like you can kind of interchange it with the movie. It's good, and it's absolutely magical and very just genius. It's just very clever. Every part of this is clever, and so I'm going to go with a bludger level, because I'll be honest, I think it is got to be probably my least favorite in the whole series. But even though it's a really good start, it got the phenomenon moving. I assume, I actually don't really know. At least by book 2, right? Well, after all I said about that, why don't I just be fair about this? Let's do Lint Ball for that one. Let's see. I'm going to do, so I just, this is, it's probably, again, my least favorite in the series. I don't think any of them, again, it's compared to themselves, it's still good. I think I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads back in the day. So we'll stick with a C level Lint Ball for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. All right, next we've got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This definitely bumps us up a little bit here, because this one it's a little better. It's a little more interesting story, and it does a good job of really getting us deep into this world, establishing a lot of our favorite characters, which the first obviously started really doing, but kind of introducing that, hey, there's going to be a lot of other characters, and each book is going to get some more, especially your Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. It really establishes that kind of that meme, right, that they're always getting replaced each year at least. Spoiler alert, right? Anyway, it's good. Again, can pretty much be replaced by the movie. I thought the movie was done very well. All right, then we've got Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is one where I think the actual movie is better than the book, but the book's still good. But the book, I think I'm going to go with, it's still, I kind of look at the first three are relatively replaceable by the movies, and so therefore they're definitely getting lower on the list here. So I'm going to go upper. I'm going to go still better. I think they, at least for a while here, they go in the right order here. Let's see. Yeah. I think that's fair enough. Yeah. I think that is fair. Harry Potter, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Again, movies, I'm going to have to do a movie tier list. As I mentioned in my intro, we just finished the movies for the nth time, but this is a first. Well, it's been a while since I've read the books, frankly. The movies are excellent too. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I think this is going to be a little outrageous. It's a hot take from me. I'm only going with A tier. Real huge hot take, I know. It's not S tier for me, though. I liked it a ton, though, and I liked it more than the rest of them. Absolutely. It is S tier, or A tier for me. It's almost S tier, but not quite. I'm saving that, actually, for two of my favorites, and who knows what they may be. You'll never know based on how I started this video. I really like it. It's great. I mean, you got the Triwizard Tournament. It's so much more than the movie. Obviously it's like a huge book too. It's the first of the monster chonkers, right? And it's great. And but again, and better than the movie, right? It's definitely better than the movie, because the movie just can't get everything. I mean, it's already a long enough movie, and there's just still so much more. All right, I alluded to this one earlier. In the Order of the Phoenix, I'm going to do this one is an easy. This one is top tier, the goldenest of golden snitches for me. This one blew my mind. Like I said, this was my first Harry Potter book. I probably went in, and that probably also reflects a lot in my rankings of the rest of the book, right? Or the books, because Order of the Phoenix is just so well done. But it's like the best part is honestly the villain, probably, but in that she's the worst and made me absolutely furious. But you've got this like Harry Potter teaching everybody the defense against the dark arts, and because nobody's really able to do that for them, they clearly need it. And then you just for someone that just uppity and I don't know, the Umbridge just is the ultimate just rip out your hair maddening villain, and this one just pulled off so well, not to mention just all the other things going on. There's just so much going on in this book. I absolutely loved it. Cannot get enough, and I could not put any book higher, frankly. All right, the last two, we've got Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Just so many things, huge reveals. This one's the darkest, I think, other than the Deathly Hallows. The Darkly Hallows, because it's dark. Other than the Deathly Hallows, the Half-Blood Prince might be the darkest, and I think it might even be darker than the Deathly Hallows. There's just huge events that happen in there. It's fun to see, because frankly, Harry Potter struggled a little bit in his classwork, and I was kind of a dork in school, and I got straight A's. I was the one. I wasn't a Hermione. I'm not that cool or knowledgeable about things, or never like pressed things. But I did my work. I put in my efforts, and I did well in school. And so I don't know. It just was like nice to see Harry Potter like doing something well, and just how everything fits so well. And then the Felix Felicis potion is just so much fun. I mean, there's a reason why I love Matt Cawthon in The Wheel of Time, because luck is his power, is his superpower, pretty much. I think it's such a cool concept, and it's really fun to just play around and see how everything kind of fits. Where, you know, Harry Potter's just like, I'm going to see Hagrid, and it's like, why? What? That's the opposite of where you should be going. And just have a good feeling about it. I think that's fun. And then you have just the huge event that takes place that I'm not even going to spoil here, but you should know it already. Everyone's seen the movies at least. It's so soul crushing, but it's just, it makes this series like, you know, I think what blew me away and what got me addicted to Game of Thrones in the Song of Ice and Fire series was when I found out even main characters were not going to be safe. And that's what happened here. So that is always, I'm always impressed when an author is willing to do that, to kill their darlings. And it just felt like it made for a very, very powerful book. All right, finally, Deathly Hallows. This is one that I'm mixed on. I'm so mixed that I think, and again, I'm going to be extremely controversial here. I know this is a lot of people's favorites. And we were just watching the first part of the part one of the Deathly Hallows movies, and it just brought this all back to me on reading the books. There's this huge chunk in it that is just completely a waste of time. It's just filler to get to like the next season or whatever for things to happen in. And it was just, I remember being bored. I remember absolutely being bored. And I mean, literally, the first part of the Deathly Hallows movies, the first movie of them, is kind of boring. It's just boring. There's not much going on with them just trying to figure out the Hollows, and we're going to get into every stupid detail about it. And they felt the need of all books to turn into 2 movies because they're like, hey, everybody's going to give us lots of money for this, clearly. And that's the book you couldn't have trimmed. You trim, the Goblet of Fire, that could have included so many more awesome things that happened that were not included in the movie, or the Order of the Phoenix. No, you turn the Deathly Hallows, the most boring part, into 2 movies. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So, having said all that, I'm going to go, it's still better than, I guess it's like right in the middle, aren't I saying it? It's better than half and not as good as the other half. But because of that, it has a banging ending. That ending is amazing. I love it, but and really well done. And I even liked, this is from a guy married with 4 children. I loved that ending. It felt really nice, all warm and fuzzy. And after everything Harry's been through, I think he deserved that. A little bit of rest for 19 years. Anyway, that is my list. Let me know where I'm wrong, and I will catch you next time. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye.